Okay.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Liz. So today we will be talking about food insecurity on and off campus, how it affects our students, and what resources are on campus and in the community, and how you can help to forward students to those. I am joined, so my name is Helena. I am joined today by my two lovely volunteers, Micah and Jaylee, and we will be just, showing you a presentation, and then we'll take questions at the end. So food insecurity on and off campus, how does it affect our students and how can we help?
Okay, so what is food insecurity? Well, after some research and analysis, we've decided that according to the Office of Disease Prevention and Health Promotion, food insecurity is defined as the disruption of food intake or eating patterns because of lack of money and other resources. It may be influenced by a number of factors, including income, employment, race and ethnicity, and disability. The risk for food insecurity increases when money to buy food is limited or not available.
The reality of food insecurity is that a student's ability to focus in class, stay in school, and feel a part of the campus community are threatened by not having enough food or access to food. Johns Hopkins University found that students who lacked consistent access were 43% less likely to graduate and persist through graduation than their food secure peers. So by acknowledging food insecurity and actively combating the issue on campus, colleges can create a more equitable and equal space for students. I always like to emphasize that food insecurity looks a lot of different ways. So somebody who may have a meal plan, have an unlimited meal plan even, may still be food insecure. And that just is because there's a variety of reasons and things that impact our ability to secure nutritious food, because nutrition is always a part of food insecurity as well. The food that you eat has to be enough to sustain you and has to be healthy enough to sustain you. So it is very, very important that we talk about it and we make it a part of our conversations that happen on campus, to help students through this tough time.
And next few slides, we'll have some statistics about our on-campus effects of food insecurity. And so this graph right here shows that race and ethnicity influence food insecurity and likeliness of food insecurity, with Hispanic and Black people being most influenced.
Food insecurity can also affect gender and sexuality. Gender alone does not necessarily differentiate food and hunger concerns. As you can see, men and women are about equally likely to report moderate or severe concerns. And then when sexuality is brought into play, that can change the level of food insecurity. A higher level of concern emerges, and especially with the group of non-binary women, female LGBTQ students make up 18% of our survey results. And almost a quarter of them, which is 23%, reported food/hunger concerns.
Yeah, and students who live with their families, including parents, spouses, or partners, or children, report the lowest concerns about hunger, but a surprisingly high percent of students who live on campus and must have a meal plan report moderate or severe concerns of hunger, about 16%. And students who live off campus, not with family, have the highest reported concerns about hunger. And this is true even when one controls for EFC as a measure of overall wealth.
I also want to point out that in this year alone, as I work in shop, the data that we've collected shows that I think 18% of our people live off campus, 16% of our users live on campus or are unknown, and then the rest, so 60 something percent, live on campus and are still using SHOP. So as I said earlier, food insecurity looks really different for a bunch of different people.
So this percentage of students who are intellectually engaged varies, determining, so technically food insecurity can decrease the amount of engagement that a student would want to put into their academics. You know, when you're hungry or you're tired, which can cause from food insecurity, you're less likely to participate, you're less likely to be engaged because you have something else on your mind. You have that need to fulfill pretty much, since hunger is important. Since food insecurity can degrade student engagement, it's just, oh, sorry, I'm gonna go back to statistics. Looking at the graph, you can see around 50% voted very frequently for students reporting no negative effects of the various constraints. Students are also concerned about working and don't report much reduction in engagement, but the largest loss of engagement associated with their moderate or severe negative impacts when the constraint is hunger. So as you can see, as a student myself, I've spoken with Micah, Helena, and other students. When you lack this basic need for food, you have less energy, and obviously student participation in classes is important.
So the SUNY Student Satisfaction Survey, I think that was done in spring of 2021, shows that 84% of students surveyed indicated, and that's across SUNY, indicated that food and hunger issues were prevalent and impacted their educational experience. National survey data indicates that more than 60% of students experience food insecurity on college campuses, and the continuing numbers that are coming out are anywhere between 60 and 80% indicate that they have food insecurity. And then directly on our campus in the spring of 2020, we did a study that showed that 32% had indicated that they, in the prior 30 days, they had had food issues. So if you think about that, 30% is a lot. That's over 2,000 students that are on our campus, and that's on the low end of the percentages that we assume are being impacted by this. So that's why it's so important to really engage with your students and see the signs and point them towards resources if they need it. The resources in Oswego are all listed on the SHOP website that I can put in the chat at the end. But the #1 resource on campus is SHOP, which we will talk about in the next few slides. I always just like to point out that we do have the Central New York Food Finder, which you just put in your address and it will show you all of the food pantries or mobile food pantries that are around you and what time they'll be there. The Oz Concern Navigator is also very helpful because that puts you in contact with, I think, the Catholic Charities is listed on there, among a few different other resources. And then the Dean of Students Office and the Student Emergency Fund are always available for students who are in need. Yes, and I think I missed the Oswego Mobile Food Pantry. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's a mobile food pantry that has specific places that it is each week. And there's always more things popping up. The Catholic Charities, and they do a lot in Oswego, so we post about them on our Instagram. SHOP is the food and clothing pantry on campus. We started in 2016 because students saw that there was a need for this, and they, supported by the Dean of Students, we put it in place. We're celebrating, 5-6 years this year, so we're really excited that we have lasted and been able to flourish like we have. The SUNY system, we were actually one of the first food pantries in the SUNY system, and then 2 years after we opened, SUNY mandated that every SUNY has to have a food pantry available for students after those concerning statistics came out. So In shop, we have non-perishable food, winter clothing, professional clothing, toiletries, sexual and reproductive health products, and frozen and fresh food donated by auxiliary services. The cafes on campus, anytime they have something, so Pallets does hot meals every day. Every time they have extra left over, they freeze it in individual packages, and then we have a fridge and freezer in shop that we keep those. So students can come in and grab dinner to go. If they need that. We also have fresh food as it is available. So if there's anything, if there's croissants and baked goods or salads left over in like Lake Effect, they come down to us and we get to keep them for an extra week in hopes of getting them in the hands of students. So shop has increased dramatically our usage this year. Last year, we served about 100 people. And this says 270 in fall, which is right, but currently we're over 400 uses since September. In the fall, we had 190 unique users, so 190 people. I think we're up to about 250 right now, which is the most that shop has ever served. So I'm so glad that we've been able to come back and utilize our like return to campus and return to normalcy to really get shop out there and into the minds and the hands of students. So yes, we have a lot of volunteers, and I'll touch on that a little bit more later as well. So how does shop work? I just want to emphasize that we are confidential. So down here, you can see that every user of shop gets a user ID that is linked to their student ID. But we only refer to, I'm the only one that gets to see the names, and we all sign confidentiality agreements. So it's all confidential. Nothing leaves shop, basically. So in both in-person and online orders, users are referred to as their user ID to make everything real nice and easy. We're open Mondays through Saturdays at these times that are listed on our website as well. And then we have an online ordering system where you can order at any point. That's on our website and Instagram. And then it'll be packaged and labeled with your user ID within 24 hours. And you just pick it up within during shop open hours and you're good to go. Shop accepts donations during open hours or by appointment. So you can either come in when we're open and drop things off, or you can always email shop and we can set up a time to, exchange goods. Cash donations can be brought to auxiliary services in Culkin, and other monetary donations go through the alumni page. Those monetary donations, which we are so grateful to have, help me stock our shelves and keep things that don't always necessarily get donated. So students can also work with us. I am an employee of the Dean of Students office. We have an intern who gets credit for volunteer management. We also have a graphic designer who is currently paid. And then we have project leads that are volunteers that get a little bit of extra responsibility if they want to. And any of the three of us take on those as, using our discretion to just give volunteers a more meaningful experience. When people volunteer with us, we have over 100 students who currently volunteer with us through either Johnson or any other required community service, and people who just want to volunteer regardless of their hours. And volunteers, when they're in, help sort and stock shelves, staff events, because we have drives and giveaways and collaborations happening all the time. So we always need hands on deck to help us out with those. So coming up, I encourage you to share with students or anybody really that we have spring break baskets. So we know shop is student run and students, at least the leadership staff, is not here during spring break and Thanksgiving break. So we make baskets, vegan/vegetarian, gluten-free and regular, that students can come in, pick up, and it's just a box of food to get them through spring break in case they aren't able to access anything. So that those will be available next Thursday and Friday for pickup during shop hours, so 4 to 7 on Thursday, and then 1 to 4 on Friday, the 11th. And there's no pre-order necessary. People can just come in, take a basket, and go. We also have a program called Hello Shop, which is meal kits that are created by the peer educators in the Dean of Students office that are like all of the ingredients that you need to make tuna noodle casserole, all packaged up in a box with the recipe card taped on top and free to just go out into the hands of students. We came up with that because we have a lot of cream of mushroom soup and not a lot of idea of what to do with it or how to get that out into the hands of students, because students really don't know what to do with cream of mushroom soup. So we figured making some recipes and things that are really easy would help get those out there and feed people. And I just want to mention that students are reluctant to seek out or accept help. There's a lot of stigma that comes with food insecurity, and what I hear from most people is somebody else will need this more than I do, which just isn't true. Like SHOP is here for the students, for faculty, for staff, and we constantly have new things coming in, so we want to get things going out, especially with like our frozen meals, or I hear that said about professional clothing that we keep, and I'm like, just take it and go. Go do your job interview and rock it, because that's what we're here to support you to do. And many students just blatantly don't know that SHOP exists, or don't know that any of these resources exist. We're a little bit hidden down in the basement of the library, and so that kind of works against us. And then just the fact that we are a food and clothing pantry, and people aren't always, shouting from the rooftops that they've used SHOP. So we want to do as many of these things as we can to really get SHOP out there in front of people. And then, yes, like I said, there's stigma. So people are really concerned about how they would be perceived, but that's why we have our confidentiality system. And there's also a back door. So if anybody wants to come in and get stuff, we can also walk them out the back of the library so that they don't have to go through the main floor with a bag of food, if that's a concern that they have. And then food insecurity changes throughout the year. It depends on the student's circumstances, how much they're working. A million different things can affect how much you have to spend on food or other necessities.
So these are some of the resources that we used in order to create this presentation. We used Swipe Out Hunger, which is a great resource online that has loads of information about not only food insecurity, but hunger and statistics on college students. We have thecounter.org. Oh, you go.
Sorry, I just want to say that we are a part of Swipe Out Hunger. So Swipe Out Hunger is a national database of college food pantries that is basically just a support network. So we are connected to thousands of other on-campus or pantries to support each other and to find best practices and to really pilot this forward. And Swipe Out Hunger has been very helpful to really getting all of these statistics and just the larger organizational things set and ready to go. Okay, you can go.
Yeah, no, I wanted to add on that after reading and going on the website, because I was something that I wasn't used to. It's honestly a very eye-opening website as a college student to see, there was times my sophomore and junior year where it's like I would have been defined as a student who's food insecure. I can't cook, sorry guys, but so that was the hardest part, is losing my meal plan, but then not being able to cook, and then just seeing as, oh, I can survive off cereal. And then seeing, no, I couldn't, that would influence my grades, honestly, because I wasn't eating healthy. So Swipe Out Hunger is honestly a great resource for students to see, like, you may fall within this category. Then there's also thecounter.org, which is a nonprofit, independent, nonpartisan newsroom investigating that forces shaping how and what America eats. And then there's also healthypeople.gov, which is also a great resource for a variety of topics. And it provides a 10-year measurable public health objectives and tools to help track progress towards achieving them.
So Oh, thank you for tuning into our presentation. If you need any more information, any resources, please feel free to reach out to shop@oswego.edu. Here is our current semester flyer that I would be more than happy to send to anybody here. If you want flyers for anything, for the baskets, for open mic, for just shop, just shoot me an email and let me know and I will send them your way. Cool. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
Hey,
Hi.
well, it's a wonderful presentation. I love it, you know, the project and everything you're doing. I'm a faculty in school of business, and I teach operations management, supply chain, and also I'm doing research in humanitarian logistics. So I'm wondering, like, maybe, you know, do you have any like business students working in your shop?
Yes, so I'm a business minor.
Oh, okay.
And then our current volunteer management intern is a business administration major.
Excellent.
Yes,
Yeah.
so Cameron definitely brings in that business side of things. She's very, very good at volunteer, like just scheduling and managing personnel, which I'm sure she can attest that the business program has helped her.
That's excellent. So I think just from the technical perspective, like how you manage your inventory, how you keep, you know, your supply and demand, what people actually want, and how you meet that. So I just wonder, maybe we could work together, you know, have a project, have students to work on the project, like maybe create an app so students can tell you what they really want, and then you can find the supply, you know, to meet the demand, and how you make sure your inventory level, you know, how you manage it, you know, what you have and how much you have, what expires, you know, what that make things available.
Yeah, I actually already did that. When I took over in August, I came in and there was a paper and pen inventory system. It was not very usable, not very functional. So I made an app, and in like 2 weeks, whipped it together, and now our volunteers have access to only the I use it mostly for information containment, you know, and keeping the confidential information away from volunteers. So only I can see that, and then I can control, like, they can edit the inventory, and then it automatically tells me what I need to buy. So we do have that in place. It's just
awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Maybe you could talk to my class.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like share, you know, how you manage, you know, inventory, because when we talk about inventory, everything's like in theory. Now we have practice, so real practice. It's wonderful. So yeah. So what's your major? I think I should write down you.
I'm a communication and English double major with a business minor.
Excellent. So okay, yeah, I'm gonna invite you maybe sometime to talk to my class.
I would love to. Inventory is difficult, and it's never a perfect system, but we've really been able to like make it a collaborative process with our volunteers to make sure that everything gets what, you know, we get what we need to. And then we obviously still have like suggestion boxes for things that students may want that aren't already in our inventory. And it is a continual process, but I think we've gotten it pretty good so far.
Well, excellent. You're great. Great job. Yeah. So, well, just amazing. I think I'm very impressed. And also maybe you can share the information to, you know, to larger audience, and so people know what is needed, how they can help. This is the first time I heard this. So like, you know, if I have some extra things and you really need, and so we can match this, you know, that'll be, so on one side you want to let the student know, on the other hand you also want to get the resources too. It's great job. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I learned a lot.
Yeah, Maggie?
Hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for that really wonderful presentation. I have a question, actually two questions, but the first question is, for faculty, I imagine that food insecurity plays a lot in, role of attendance and, so obviously like performance academically, and whether faculty are able to, or whether students are able to buy textbooks, and I imagine that all of those things are quite linked. And so I was wondering what advice you had for faculty in um, either creating a classroom space that helped address some of those consequences or outcomes of food insecurity, or what you recommend faculty to do to, help students navigate those needs.
I would definitely say that just creating a safe space that has already broached the topic. I know that a lot of people are scared to just bring it up. So maybe if you throw the shop flyer up in or even link to shop like in a syllabus or something, that just bringing up the topic and starting a conversation can go a long way in making it a safer space for people to admit that they need help. And then, yeah, I think that's my answer, is just talk about it.
Thank you. Thanks. My second question is, whether you've ever worked with the community garden on the west side to, get donations from them, because that's something I can help you with. It would certainly be, we would have to, figure out planting like seasonal things for, times when school is in session. But I was also curious if you were still running shop over the summer, and, okay, not as much over the summer then.
So because it's student run, we close down after finals week and we open up again, like a week into the semester. So we also don't have anything open during winter break.
Okay, but maybe, seasonal things for fall and, early spring might be
Definitely
of interest.
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
all right, then I'll reach out, and we can coordinate some of that.
Yes. Kathleen.
Hello. Thank you very much. I learned some things too. I knew about SHOP, but I learned some things today that I didn't know. I just had a question about donations for food. You mentioned you get a lot of cream and mushroom soup. And then you mentioned that there's other things that you don't typically get that would be helpful. Could you review maybe some things that the pantry could benefit from in terms of donations? Because I know some people in my office, we've, sent over stuff. And
yes, so most of our donations are food, but because we also have toiletries, we tend to run out of those really, really quickly. So shampoo and conditioner, razors, even if you wanted to buy, like, I know Andrea bought a big thing of razors from BJ's, and we just have them in they're capped. We have them in a basket ready to go. And deodorant tends to go very, very quickly as well. So anything toiletry based, I would say, is your best bet, that we'll probably need.
Yeah, toilet paper and paper towel, I remember, are also big ones. No one has toilet paper for some reason. Yeah.
thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you so
I
much.
just wanted to make it an admission that when I was in grad school, I used to swipe toilet paper from school. But if you tell anybody, I'll deny it, okay? But I think it's funny to hear it said out loud that, people need toothbrushes. We're supposed to change our toothbrushes. How often? I forget. Do we do that? Does a student do that? So I think anything really, whatever you want to give is really appreciated.
Floss has also been going quicker than I thought it would. I didn't know so many people flossed, actually, but it's going off the shelves. So
I think Oh, sorry. I was just, I think a big thing, especially with the toilet paper and the toiletries, is that not necessarily there is income impact, but it's also time to get there. Like I have a vehicle on campus. I don't think I've had time to go to the store in a week. So if I could just go on campus to shop real quick and grab something, it makes it way easier because Walmart is all the way across town, and or there's people that take public transportation, but the schedules aren't necessarily lining up. So it's a big thing to consider, is that just transportation and time plays a giant role into this.
And we are starting, after spring break, we're starting volunteer opportunities for groups to do a pop-up shop. So they will come in, take like a themed item. So I'm sure 1 week will be dental health, and they'll take all of our toothbrushes and floss and toothpaste, and they'll bring it into MCC to try to get it out into the hands of students and just fight some of that stigma, and also get it out of the basement of the library, you know? So we're doing a lot of things to get it out and get outreach done. Yes.
Yeah, my question is something new that I guess has come up more recently since gas prices have started to increase, right? I'm hearing a lot more from students that are having a harder time, making the decision to come to campus, to even come to class, right? Because if you're driving from Syracuse or, commuting here, I'm hearing a lot more struggles in there. So I guess it's maybe like a joint question for SHOP and Dean of Students. But, when we think of some of that support, I know that, is this the time where it's like gift cards, but then I worry about like, making those things available through SHOP versus elsewhere, maybe thinking about resources that can kind of help with those. Cause, again, that's kind of what Jaylee has gotten at as well, right? Taking the time to go shop, but having to put, if you have a car, which is a luxury, right? Putting gas in that car, right? Or if you're coming from Syracuse, people might not be able to really get to shop. And so it's like, I don't know if it starts small as like a network where it's like pop up, and then I don't know, like our own, if you have our own HelloFresh, and then are we going to get our own like shop Uber going, right? Happy to drive people around as needed here and there. But, I guess that's the larger thing. If, I don't know if it's isolated, that it's just now happening, or if that's kind of been also talked about that, when it comes to a lot of that access, even though we have a Walmart and we have stores, getting there, and gas prices and gas maintenance. So I'd love to hear more about any sort of resources I can have available when I hear those sorts of situations, right? Because it seems that money would be nice, right? And gift cards would be nice, but then the access and distribution of is maybe not good. So if there's others, like, let me know where I should be sending students when they tell me I had to decide not to come to class because I can't afford gas this week.
I think that's a Liz question.
I'm listening because this is not an easy time. I manage the emergency fund for the campus, and most of our students are having issues with rent and transportation. Those are the top. Most are upper level students, juniors and seniors. And what I have them do is send an email to Dean of Students, all one word, Dean of Students at oswego.edu, and say, I have a need. So even I'm not allowed to have gift cards. I thought about that because, can I give you like a dining card? Can I give you like a Walmart card? But that's like giving a student money. And so we don't do that. But I think putting up the resources, like in the syllabus, I love that concept. Putting in, the emergency fund, anything you could think of, because I think it's more prevalent than we know. I mean, I'm astounded at the number of requests, and I'm not questioning it, because I'll interview students, and out of 400 people that we funded in the last year and a half, maybe 3 were kind of playing me a little bit. But once I talk to them and I'll say, okay, we're going to give this to you now, and please, when you're an alum, give back. And that really helps people, so even though we don't give them a lot of money, it really helps. If you remember being in school and saving your pennies, do I buy this or do I buy gas? Do I get the new sneakers or do I, whatever. But it's even working students have a hard time making ends meet. That's a good question.
I just dropped in the chat the link to the Concern Navigator. I hope that you're all familiar with it. It points to community and on-campus resources, and it's been very helpful to try to push students towards, just because it is so encompassing of a lot of the different resources that we have and a lot of the different problems that students have.
Going back to the pop-up idea, that was my first time actually hearing about it, but I know that the org that I'm the president of, we would definitely be willing to table an MCC and any themes, whether it's with the toothpaste and dental floss, anything that you need, we're willing to table an MCC.
Well, I'll get you guys on the list. All right, well, you guys can all reach me at shop@oswego.edu, and we can definitely, I can answer any of your other questions that may come up, or just direct students there. We constantly are on that email. So yeah, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. And we will post a video of this later today.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.